Today, John and I are in Estero, Florida, and we are visiting Koreshan Historic State Park, and this is where the Coercion Unity Settlement is located. In 1893, the Coercions, a religious sect founded by Dr. Cyrus R.T., moved here. Communal living and a belief that the universe existed on the inside of the earth were among the distinctive features of their doctrine. Living celibate lives, the industrious Coreshians established a farm, nursery, and botanical garden. Their cultural activities included art and music. In 1961, the surviving members of the settlement presented their property to the state of Florida. Koreshan State Park is a 200-acre park where visitors can enjoy hiking, picnicking, canoeing, and camping. Visitors to Koreshan State Park can also take self-guided tours of the historic buildings, and on weekends they have guided tours. This is the Art Hall. It was constructed in 1905, and it served as the center for all of the religious and cultural activities within the Coercion community. The new general store was built in 1920 after their old general store was destroyed by fire. The new store sold groceries, fishing supplies, fresh produce, and anything else needed by both the surrounding communities and travelers passing by on the main highway, US Highway 41. This building was constructed in 1882. It was the residence of Gustav Domkaller and his family, if I'm pronouncing that right, Domkaller. The Domkallers were the original settlers and landowners of the property, which would become the Coercion Unity Settlement. Gustav Domkaller was a native of Germany. He eventually moved to Clarence, Missouri, where he met his future wife, Alma, and started a family. The family came to Florida and, after much searching, settled on a tract of land along the future Estero River. Gustav eventually acquired 320 acres. Sadly, as time passed, most of the Domkaller family died. Only Gustav and his eldest son, Elwin, survived. In 1893, after having read a pamphlet on Coercionity, Gustav invited Dr. Cyrus Teed to view his property. After meeting Teed, Gustav joined the Coercion Unity and sold Teed 300 acres, which became the Coercion Unity Settlement. Eventually, after becoming disillusioned with Teed and Coercionity, Gustav and Elwin left Estero and ended up in Alaska, where Gustav died in 1905. After the departure of Domkaller, the cottage served as the Coercion Medical Office. So here is the river. This must be the Estero River, and you could probably hear the traffic going by. We're right at this point right here. We're right up against the major highway, US 41. And this is the Domkaller residence, which eventually became the medical office. Now there's a very interesting looking building over there. Take a look over here and see what this was. Built in 1896, this was the first permanent structure in Cyrus Teed's utopian community. Also called the Children's House, it came to be known as the Founder's House. The building changed more than any other in the settlement with the addition of ornate porches, arches, and imitation brownstone. Work started on a 30-foot circular tower. We don't know its purpose. All renovations stopped with Teed's death in 1908. So here's the circular structure that was started and never finished. All right, the founder's house is open, so we're gonna go take a look inside.
I think the Coercions really had a unique communal personality. They liked being rather in your face. They liked.
So here is Gustav Domkoller and Cyrus T. Oh, here comes an alligator. He's in the water looking at me. He's a little guy. I heard that some of the bamboo that's here in the Koreshan Park came from the Thomas Edison estate. Thomas Edison brought the Coercion Unity electricity. And from what I read, the Coercions were excited to have it. And we're one of the first communities in the Fort Myers area to get electricity. A lot of the surrounding residents were afraid of what electricity would do. You know, they thought their cows wouldn't give milk and the chickens wouldn't lay eggs. But the Coercions were all for it. And Edison brought electricity here to the Coercion Unity and formed a relationship, a business relationship with them anyway. Another view of the river over here. It's really a pretty spot. So this is really a pretty spot here on the river. Yeah. I could understand why they would want to settle here. Yeah, there's more buildings back in here. This place is pretty big. So this cottage is known as a membership cottage. It was occupied by Coercion Unity member Conrad Schlender. He presumably moved into the cottage during the Depression era and remained until his death in 1965. Conrad was buried in the Coercion Cemetery. He was born in Germany in 1878 and came to the U.S. with his family at the age of 2. He joined the Coercion Unity in 1907 and lived out his days as a member of the community. So laundry, they had to have some place to do their laundry. Coercion Laundry. The Coercion Laundry was located on the site. The building was connected to the north side of the large machine shop. The roof line is visible on the gable end. A shaft and pulley system from the belt drive extended from under the roof of the machine shop. After the laundry was washed, it was placed into an extractor, which used centrifugal force to extract the water. A tumbler was then used before the laundry was hung on the clothesline. The laundry could do washing and ironing for all 200 members of the Coercion Unity in just 11 hours. Before roads connected this place to the rest of the state, the Coercion Unity settlement supported itself with local materials and labor. The Coercions produce electricity with a massive diesel engine housed in the generator building. Until 1946, they even provided power to the surrounding community. The large machine shop held a steam-powered machine that powered the laundry next door. The small machine shop made and repaired specialty tools and kitchen items. And here is the machine shop, dated 1904. This is the small machine shop, dated 1905. So now we're going to go into the generator building. 1908 is the date on this one. Oh wow, this is pretty cool. So this is the Coercion Bakery. The Coercion Bakery was constructed in 1903 and was one of the first chief economic drivers of the Coercion Unity Settlement. The bread produced in the bakery was used to feed the Coercions as well as the surrounding community through the sale of loaves, cookies, and other baked goods in the Coercion General Store. As part of their philosophy of holistic education, the Coercions assigned young boys to the bakery as apprentices to the bakers. They believed that children should be educated not only in the arts and sciences, but should also learn practical trades as well. The boys lived with the bakers on the second floor of the building, which had dormitory rooms just for that purpose. Throughout our walk around the Koreshan community in the park, we're seeing the gopher tortoise holes, which of course are protected. Gopher tortoises can live 40 to 50 years, and captive tortoises have lived more than 100 years. Their range extends from southeastern Louisiana to southeastern South Carolina and through all 67 counties of Florida. The governing body of the Coercion Unity was called the Planetary Court. And the Planetary Court was home to 7 women, surprisingly. So I say surprisingly for that time period. The 7 women who comprised the Planetary Chamber, the governing council of the Coercion Unity, lived in this very well-designed 3-story house. Each person had a separate room, which could be entered from the central stairway, hall, or from the outside porches. The exterior of this building, as seen in early photographs, appears to have been covered in heavy craft paper, probably to eliminate drafts. Most of the furnishings in the Planetary Court were brought to the settlement from Chicago. Day-to-day business of the settlement was conducted by the Sisters of the Planetary Court. So John and I just finished touring the historic buildings, and now we're going to hike the river trail. Yeah, a lot of people kayaking on the river today. They like their bamboo. Really neat about walking this trail. I mean, it's just lined on both sides with bamboo, and there's a breeze, so it makes kind of like a musical sound when the bamboo rubs together. So it's really cool. Right, so John and I are exploring the campgrounds right now. They have water and electricity. Here's electricity, picnic table, place for your clothesline, or hammock, yeah. And fire pit, yes. One thing I'm noticing on the sites that we've seen so far, not overly shaded, but some shade. And sometimes when you have a lot of shade, you have a lot of roots. So I see pine trees and palm trees, palmetto trees, and those don't generally have the big roots that can interfere with leveling and, you know, having a nice flat surface to camp. Yeah, there's some shade. Not, yeah, they're good sized camp sites. There's shade towards the back, like if you were going to put your tent, you know, you'd have shade back there. You know, but it's not like, you know, the last place where we camped, where, I mean, the whole camp site was completely shaded. Of course, it was also full of raccoons and squirrels that, you know, made us keep an eye on our food. Ooh, we have a picnic area here. Restrooms. Playground. And John and I are going to have a little picnic.